we haven't checked in on this asshole in a while, but Tim Drool over here noticed maybe, or somebody else passed it on to him, what I noticed in the post-victims press conference today, where somebody asked Thomas Massie what happened, why more Republicans aren't voting, and Massie said because they are being threatened by the White House. I don't know if that's where he's getting this from, but that seems to be the general tenor, but it was a direct quote from Massie.
GOP Rep Thomas Massie, as well as Democrat Ro Khanna, are moving forward with their efforts to release or get released as many Epstein files as possible.
Hey, asshole, how many Democrats are voting for it and how many Republicans? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Now, the other day we saw that the Oversight Committee released 33,000 Epstein documents, have been subpoenaed to the DOJ, and much of it was publicly known. People are still parsing through all of these documents. Maybe there will be something in there, but I really doubt it. Mike Cernovich, the principal actor behind the release and the expose.
Yes, also one of the assholes, I think, who was standing outside the Oval Office when they got their binders from the president and Pam Bondi. They were in the Oval when they got these folders. They weren't at the DOJ. They weren't in a sub room. They weren't taken over there to a fucking conference room where they could fucking shoot videos and get their folders. They got them at the White House in the Oval Office.
On Epstein, with his lawsuit, as well as the Miami Herald, said these documents were already destroyed. You're not going to get anything substantive. But Thomas Massie says he wants these files to be released, and the White House has issued a statement saying any GOP reps who sign on to this discharge petition, which would force the vote on the release of the Epstein files, will be seen as taking a hostile act towards the president.
That's your boy. And I'm sorry, what exactly is the problem? I mean, you were part of the Trust in Trump chorus, and that, Harris was going to destroy free speech in the country and use lawfare on everybody, right? Remember that? Dumbass. This is your boy. You don't get to go, I don't like it. Tough shit. In for a penny, in for a pound, you dumb motherfucker. You were one of the army of right-wing maggot influencers that helped shepherd Trump back into the Oval. You have responsibility in this, not just reaction.
Oof. That's brutal, huh? Now, Epstein victims held a press conference around the, I don't know if they were the exact, I think they were separate press conferences from Thomas Massie's, where they explained they will be releasing their own client list.
They said it on both.
Now, Nancy Mace, a GOP rep, had met with these victims, and apparently upon hearing what they had to say about what Epstein subjected them to, she left the meeting in tears, and there's actually video of it. People were saying she had a full-blown panic attack.
No, she said that.
This is an interesting scandal. There are
It is. Yeah, that's a good point. Don't you think so, guys? It's an interesting scandal. That's the way I think of it. It's, I was like, that Epstein thing with Trump being best friends with him for 25 fucking years plus, that's an interesting scandal. I've said out loud to myself, fucking never.
Questions about who to believe in, what to trust, and what's really going on.
No, there isn't, because the president's office called them and threatened them if they release the documents. So the documents apparently must remain secret by force of will from the president of the United States. This ain't about trust anymore, asshole.
Donald Trump says it's a Democrat hoax. It's not real. They made it all up. I got to be honest. There's morsels of truth to this. We don't know exactly.
Morsels of Truth? Is that the new name of Tim Pool's show?
Exactly, if the documents they have are real or others. We haven't seen them, but I'll put it like this. You expect me...
Sorry. So James Comer released 33,000 documents that everybody has seen most of, all but 1% of it, and they might be fake.
To believe that the people who falsely accused Trump of rape and civil fraud and tried to...
Falsely accused Trump of rape and civil fraud. So Tim is in the women who accuse Trump of sexual assault are lying crowd. Classy. Meanwhile, also, these files were released by the Republicans. The binder was put out by Pam Bondi.
Arrest him over and over again, wouldn't have fabricated documents or lied about it? Sure.
Well, if they did, why didn't they release him before he could win the election?
The question then becomes, who do you trust and what do you want to happen? For political reasons, people on the right are saying, not everybody on the right, but many pro-Trump people are saying, ignore this stuff. It's tainted information, and it is a Democrat hoax. They fabricated evidence to try and smear and stop Donald Trump.
Sorry, what did they fabricate? The letter that he wrote him on his fucking birthday? The fact that they hung out for fucking years? What'd they fabricate? What is it? Show us the fabricated shit. We can obviously, if they've got him at a dinner party with Epstein and underage girls and he was someplace else at the time, obviously he'll have an alibi, and it would prove, even if you release fake shit, that the fake shit can be disproved.
We need Trump to win. Others who aren't so purist are saying, don't know, don't care, release it now and let the people figure it out. I'm more on the side of, let's release the information and figure out for ourselves.
Great. So you're, thank God. So way to take a strong stance on this, Beanie Boy. So you, this is all predicated on, you're kind of on the side of release the stuff, which you seem to give credence to the fact that it's fake.
But it is interesting when prominent liberals are lining up behind Rep. Thomas Massie saying, you go, brother. These aren't people known to have integrity or scruples. So when
Sorry, they're not lining up behind Massie. Massie has joined our side in wanting the release of this stuff. Yeah, is Tim Pool in the Epstein files? No. No, they like there's just he would never get invited to those parties. That's probably what he's pissed about.
I see prominent Democrats and libs who I know are liars, cheaters, and thieves saying, yeah, let's do this. It does give me pause and make me wonder. So, my friends, it's a rock and a hard place. Do you?
No, it isn't. Well, I mean, I guess it is for you because you're a paid shill for the administration and or for Russia, really. But
want the information they got released? I think regardless of the political circumstances around this, most people are saying yes, and let's stop playing games. Trump can call it a Democrat hoax all he wants, but it's not going to change the fact that we want to know exactly what's happening. And if it...
But I love how he's like secondary, you know, like it's like third person. We want to know these things. Not me. I'm not saying I want to. Some people are saying this, and I kind of lean in the way of the some people that are saying this. Meanwhile, I'm kind of on the side of the people who are saying do the exact opposite, but kind of, sort of.
It's true that Democrats are engaged in some kind of hoax to smear Donald Trump. Maybe that's the information Trump should be releasing and explaining what or why that would be the case. I don't think so, though. I'll tell you my opinion.
Yeah, get to it, dude, because this is way too dull for you to drag out.
I think what we're actually looking at is prominent, powerful individuals that Trump knows that doesn't want to see damaged are going to be negatively impacted by these documents. Maybe some of the...
Sorry, besides his buddy who allegedly hung himself in fucking jail and died, he's got other friends that would be harmed by this that are also pedophiles?
Them actually are criminals. I assume many of the individuals listed, probably abused underage girls. I'm also willing to bet there's a lot of people in there who are going to have their reputations damaged without being direct abusers themselves. Maybe they knew about it, wouldn't report on it. And Trump is basically saying, let's protect these.
You mean like him? Because that's the best case scenario, is that Trump knew about it and didn't report it.
Powerful individuals. Don't know for sure. This one's really hard to figure out, and everyone's got a theory. But we'll get into that and a whole lot more. Before we get started, my friends, we got a great sponsor. It is PD.
Jesus Christ. Nothing makes money for us than talking about some stupid fucking thing. Guys, while we're talking about this thing, I don't even think it's a real thing. I mean, like, why are we even talking about this shit, right? Am I right? Yeah, okay, so I've got to show you this one, all right? This is the part that kind of stands out for everybody. By the way, hit the like, share the show, etc., etc., etc. Trump is in the Epstein files. I'm just telling you. He's all over them. He's throughout. Video, still images, more documents, letters, like correspondence, deal memos, all kinds of shit. Just know it. And I guess part of the Epstein files should be, I would think, the membership files of Mar-a-Lago to show the fact that Epstein was a member at Mar-a-Lago for years after Trump said he allegedly kicked him to the curb. So this, ladies and gentlemen, this is Marjorie Taylor Greene making statements at the Massey kind of victims statement outside. And this is outside the Capitol. All of the victims had spoken, I think, before this, and they spoke at the other one. Again, I watched it. It was fucking heartbreaking. So listen to her remarks, and I think we'll probably have a few Vinny moments.
Good morning. This is my 5th year in Congress, and this is the largest press conference that I've seen since I've been here.
So I just knew I had to run over to the microphone and get some attention.
And this is because this is an issue that matters so much to Americans. This is an issue that doesn't have political boundaries. It's an issue.
According to Tim Pool, it does. It's a bunch of liberals who can't be trusted concocted this kind of stuff, and apparently they're all lining up behind Thomas Massey to trick everyone. It is partisan.
That Republicans and Democrats should never fight about. As a matter of fact, it's such an important issue that it should bring us all together. It's grieved me to watch the arguments and debates take place.
Leave it up to fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene to her only kumbaya moment is over pedophilia. Imagine if she felt this way about school shootings and lead in the water.
Among my colleagues and even the administration, I think this is something that was worth fighting for. You see, the women behind me are going to tell you stories that you've never heard.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you can hear it in the background. There's somebody with a bullhorn basically barking the crowd in order, and I feel like that's where my conspiratorial hackles went up. They had a couple of airplanes fly over, and then they have this guy kind of chattering during the whole thing that was kind of like enough distracting noise to make it, because there's no reason why that fucker had to be there, and certainly not talking on a bullhorn while the victims especially were talking, her, whatever. But this happened throughout.
Before. These are unimaginable horrors that they've lived with for their entire lives since they were very, very young. But these are also similar stories that many children, teenagers, women, and even men are enduring nightmares right now as we speak.
And it's all because Ukraine is getting support from the Americans. Right. Can I also say that while she's supposed to be on the side of the victims and all this stuff, this sounds very insectile. For her, like how riled up and firebrandy she allegedly gets, this is pretty stale, I gotta say.
You see, these women
have all been affected by something that affects us all when it's affecting us. And these are people who have gone through things when they've gone through them that they're still going through, even if they've already finished going through them.
Have been fighting since the 1990s. I heard one woman tell us yesterday since 1996. And they have...
Literally one of the survivors that's there was an Epstein survivor from 1991. She literally spoke earlier. But whatever.
Carried with them shame. But I want to tell you something. The shame does not fall on these brave, courageous women. The shame falls on every single person that coldly turned a blind eye.
Oh, you mean Trump and Melania? Okay.
To their...
Oh, you mean Dershowitz? Seriously, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Everywhere, again, I feel like he knows he's protected because of attorney-client privilege and his awareness that, whatever compromise they might have had maybe got destroyed. That's what it sounds like. Because it doesn't, he talks like somebody's like, well, I got the evidence and they don't, so they'll never be able to get me. That's what it reeks of. And even still, The fact that he continued to represent Jeffrey Epstein, that he represented Donald Trump, that almost the entire circle of people he's working with either did damage to women or, or fucking killed one.
Abuse. The shame falls on every single person that enabled it. The shame falls on every single person that took.
You mean like with a free membership to Mar-a-Lago, let's just say? I'm just spitballing. I don't even know where I would get that.
Money to continue it. And the shame falls.
Well, he certainly saved $200,000 a year on a Mar-a-Lago membership that he never had to pay for.
On the people in power over the past several decades that protected the monster, Jeffrey Epstein, and his cabal that continued a nightmare. Those people deserve the shame. And today we are
Yeah, we know.
coming forward and we're going to fight like hell for these women, because we have to fight like hell for those that are enduring sexual abuse and are living in a prison of shame. Anyone that is being...
Oh, you mean like victims that have been like shamed by the President of the United States, called liars, dismissed outright, said they were too ugly to sexually assault? You mean that kind of shame? Jesus.
abused. It is not your fault. You should live with no guilt or fear or shame.
Hear that, E. Jean Carroll? She's with you now.
All of the fault belongs to the evil people that do these things to the innocent. This is the most important fight we can wage here in Congress, is fighting for innocent people that never receive justice. And the women behind me have never received justice. And do you want to know why?
Because you helped Donald Trump avoid responsibility for his actions? Because you and all of MAGA attacked the fucking Capitol to make sure that he got no comeuppance?
It's because Jeffrey Epstein somehow was able to walk among the most rich, powerful people.
Somehow. I know one of the ways he did it was by catching a fucking ride on Trump's plane.
Not only in America, but foreign countries. Yesterday, I heard countries like Saudi Arabia, Russia, and even Israel, and other countries.
And other countries that I can't remember because it gives me a stone in the pit of my stomach trying to pronounce foreign words.
The truth needs to come out.
Yeah, why don't you walk over to the White House with a fucking tape recorder? I think you should probably video it.
And the government holds the truth. The cases that are sealed hold the truth. Jeffrey Epstein's estate holds the truth. The FBI, the DOJ, and the CIA holds the truth. And the truth we are demanding come out on behalf of these women, but also as a strong message to every innocent child, teenager, woman, and man that is
that's been, like, I don't know, maybe had pictures of them stolen from their private laptop and displayed in public without their permission for no reason, that are not evidence of a crime or proof of any wrongdoing. Even if you don't like the composition of the shot, that person's got to feel the right to be able to, bring a grievance against people in government that took advantage of their access to private files. For example, I'm just talking, I don't know.
being held captive in abuse. This should never happen in America, and it should never be a political issue that divides us. And I want to thank Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie.
Super weird.
For doing something brave, crossing political boundaries for a very important fight. And I'm honored to join both of them.
By the way, that's Virginia Giuffre's brother, I believe, who's trying. And one of the other victims, that was a victim of Epstein's giving him a
And I'm
hug.
honored that Nancy Mace and Lauren Boebert signed the discharge petition along with myself. And I asked
That is the 5,
my
right?
Republican
Nancy Mace ends up being the 5th, I guess.
colleagues not to choose just one path for justice and transparency and accountability, but I asked my Republican colleagues to choose every path for justice and accountability.
They're going to be exhausted.
And transparency.
Okay, so that's the end of her thing, and she kind of walks away. I gotta say, a little dry considering how firebrandy she's been in other areas. So the idea that she's somehow, on the side of all that's right and good is a little silly at this point.